How has the Russian invasion of the Ukraine affected wheat prices this year? That's what I'm thinking about. Back in early spring when Russia invaded Ukraine, it was a pretty scary time on a number of fronts. And in particular, talking about, Ukraine is such a large exporter of wheat and similar grain-based products that, the thought was, hey, this is really going to impact global food prices and going to add fuel to a fire on inflation that was already burning with just inflation in general, and now this exacerbating the problem. I just got around to thinking about it recently, and because I don't follow, wheat prices, and so I did some homework and found this chart on where wheat prices are, and it was kind of surprising to me. Wheat prices have been going up in the last 3 or 4 years. If you take a look at this, end of February, early March, when the invasion happened, prices shot up 50%, seemingly overnight. Pretty scary time, and that was just like the feeling was at the tip of the iceberg. And of course, you can see since then prices have come back, maybe not to normal, but come way back down. Just curious to see this. As you know, in watching these series of videos, we try to point out things that you don't hear about or think about otherwise, sort of outside the box. And as I look at this, I think, okay, what does this mean? Number one, it does not mean that there's going to be no problems, that it was all overblown hype. Maybe I'm just smart enough to know that what I don't know about this situation is way, way more than what I do know, right? Maybe these things are still coming down the pike. Maybe we are still at the tip of the iceberg, and crops that got planted in the spring, we're going to see the effect, or didn't get planted in the spring, we'll see the effect now. I know at the time in the spring, there was a lot of the discussion and was focused on winter wheat, which got planted last fall and was scheduled to be harvested in the spring just as the fighting is going on. It doesn't seem like maybe those things have caused a problem, like that wasn't the issue. But the point is, again, not that, hey, that wasn't a problem and all that worry about nothing. Maybe that's the case, but shoot, we just don't know what's playing out on that. My takeaway from this is really more global. Like in this day and age when we have instant news and everybody can put out their opinions on various sources, and you've got a ton of information, that to take a 30,000 foot view, to take a step back, things, so often aren't as bad or as good as we think they are. And it's not these absolutes. I know my feeling was certainly like in the spring, holy man, we're in real trouble with the price of grains. And again, maybe we are going to be, and there's still a problem. And certainly $9 compared to $7.50 or $8 a bushel before the invasion. I mean, that's a pretty significant increase, right? But just the hyperbole and how the panic can set in as we think about these things, this helps me to think about various other things, to take a step back, and rather than going down the rabbit hole of all these bad things that are going to happen, to step back and to be able to say, yeah, we'll kind of see how it plays out. If there's a lot of things that maybe aren't as absolute as we feel like they are. So that's what I'm thinking about today. I'm interested in knowing what you're thinking about. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop a comment in the chat box below or shoot us an email directly. And as always, thanks for watching.